Hey everybody, it's Busy Little Bee. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are catching up with Rosie. I have clips from a stream on April 14th and clips from the stream on April 15th. There's a lot to discuss. She gets into a lot, so let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Um, but I wanted to try these with you guys, and I'm gonna pull out both flavors because my mom wants to try them too.
I've noticed that since Rosie got remonetized, not only is she doing quote unquote taste tests all over her channel, she also is constantly eating while cooking. She's just not talking about her ED anymore. That's the only thing that's different. She is still participating in her addictive behaviors and monetizing it. Do you think she learned her lesson when she got demonetized? Because I don't.
I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like these past few days, like specifically, but probably even maybe slightly longer than that, I've been really struggling with my depression. So that's not fun nor fresh, but we're just gonna keep living, laughing, and loving. Because what else are we gonna fucking do? You know what I'm saying?
I have a couple of comments here because number one, I think language is really, really important, and the way we use it is really important. And saying my depression instead of depression, it's kind of taking ownership of your depression, and it doesn't belong to you. You don't want it, right? That's just the way that I've always thought, and I have been diagnosed with severe depression. But I don't say my depression because I don't want ownership of that shit. You know what I mean? But also, this is Rosie's way of getting out of editing her Texas vlogs. This is her way of putting it off for longer. It's just another excuse. It's so frustrating. I feel really bad for those who paid for memberships.
Oh my god, that's so good. What the hell? It tastes like a sour peach drink. That's nuts. I don't taste chocolate. Whatever this is,
It's not chocolate.
it's not chocolate. Yeah, I'm gonna finish the peach one though. Wait, what temp do you cook the pizza on with the parfait crust?
I don't know if you guys were around after Rosie went to Vegas, but she had this big wake up call about how bad her mobility was. And she recently traveled to Texas, and we saw her in a mobility scooter from the time she left the car until the time she got back in the car. So her mobility is going down rapidly, and she's still scooting around her kitchen in this chair instead of getting up when needs to get up. It sucks seeing people give up.
My mom, like I mentioned, my mom went to Sam's Club, so we are going to be deboning. I haven't done this in forever, so I do want to break this up. Mainly, I want to remove the skin from the chicken breast. We want to eventually make chicken salad.
Mind you, she doesn't even get to the chicken until the next day on the next stream.
Fuck fascism forever, forever and ever, and no matter what happens, that's always my opinion. And if you don't agree, okay. So anyway, I'm not talking about when we're seeing each other again. I'm not discussing it at all because of what happened.
It's really stupid that she is still giving attention to the person who took two pictures of her and Remy while they were out, and the person who made the wellness check on Rosie, knowing Rosie wasn't home. She knows damn well that she gives these trolls all this information, then she gives them all this attention for doing what they do. They're just gonna keep going. Keep mentioning it, Rosie. We know you will. You are always the victim. And that's kind of something I've noticed about Rosie is she uses victim language. We'll be talking later on in different videos about how she says she was medically kidnapped. She was Baker acted. It's like a 5150. She called, said she needed some mental health help, and so they put her on a 72-hour hold. That's not being medically kidnapped. She also says she was groomed into feederism at the age of 28. Now, I don't think you can be groomed into feederism at 28 years old. She decided that was a good way to make money and get attention and get paid to eat. She is still doing the eating on camera and monetizing her food addiction. She's still doing a lot of the same things she was doing in the feederism community, but she was thrown out of there by people who saw through her.
No, I have a wet cough. I've had one my whole life. Let me see if I can show y'all. They're actually like reptile skin. But so post Texas, like because beforehand we used to like VC, video chat, voice chat all the time, and like we still video chat a lot, to be fair, but we have both like kind of taken a little bit of a step back because like we both have like a lot of goals we're working on right now and like shit we're doing like separately because we have long-term goals that we're working on. So to do that you have to put the work in, and so because today I might not talk to him at all today, which might be the first time that's happened.
I don't know about you guys, but if I went and spent 2 weeks with my boyfriend and we had such a great time, we'd be talking a lot. Also, we know Rosie doesn't do much with her time. She is always in the house. She's always sitting on her ass. She hasn't been editing her Texas vlogs because nothing has come out. So, what is she working toward what goals? You know, I can see that Remy might be, working harder to make more money, to save up, to maybe be able to take trips or whatever. But it just seems strange that after they met and spent all that time together and had such a great time, that suddenly they're not talking as much. What do you guys think about this part? I am really curious how other people are feeling about this.
Just because we both, well, honestly, mainly him, have such busy days. Mom, please respond. I mean, I don't think I'd be in a committed relationship with someone if I didn't want to eventually move in with them, you know what I mean? But time has to pass. Was this too much sauce? Probably. Okay. I'm new here. SJM told me about your channel. I don't know why he's talking about me. I don't know anything about him. All I know is people who insult my boyfriend are not my friend.
I don't watch S-Jam. Did he insult her boyfriend? I have no idea. But the way she made that stank face, she certainly knows who S-Jam is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jessica, I was DM'd that screenshot before I guess it was spreading around on Twitter. And ew, I don't like people who talk like that. So, but I don't want to give any more energy to that kind of bigoted hate. It's okay.
Well, I'm glad you approve.
I learned it from you, but I was just checking. Detroit style with bacon from Jets is my go-to.
Oh, Jets. Oh.
Got sausage grease all over my fingies.
Hold it for
Yeah,
you
just bring it pretty. Bring it really close.
I want to take this time to remind everyone that Rosie's mom has wrist and hand problems from all the years she spent piping cakes and cupcakes and stuff. And she had to cut up all that stuff for Rosie because God forbid Rosie do it, right?
Yeah, that would be the easiest way to do it. Mom, I got it.
Well, I'm seeing clumps.
I know.
And it's not Vidalia.
Oh, these are sweet onions.
Did you buy sweet?
Oh, only. Right, I'm gonna scooch my boot towards you.
For me. Are you gonna do the chicken next? Or are you gonna wait?
Yeah, I'm gonna do. I mean, I
'Cause
I
I'm
might
gonna-
eat first, to be honest.
We all know Rosie can't do shit unless she's got hella food in her stomach. She doesn't even get to the chicken this night. Like I said, she gets to it the next stream on the next night.
Can you move the cutting board for a second? Is it okay if I have some of that soda?
Of course.
Thank you.
Again, asking her mom for everything. She will show in a little bit herself pouring the soda that she just asked her mom for. And she's like either breathing really heavy or she's upset that she has to pour her own soda. It's wild.
All right, I'm gonna eat real quick. I'm gonna debone the chicken, and I'll probably top off. You're mean to your mom. It hurts my heart. I don't think I'm mean to my mom.
I think Rosie tries to hide how she is with her mom, but she really does take advantage of her, take her for granted, and she asks her to do so much for her. Girl, you're 34, like, do it your damn self.
Yeah, I know. People are just hating, Mom.
Consider yourself spoiled.
I do. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
Oh.
But I'm trying to figure out a pacing that allows me to balance my mental health and make a livable amount of money.
Rosie admits, I believe it's in the next stream, that the content she was doing in 2025 was really triggering to her mental health or whatever because she was doing so much food content. But what is she doing right now? The exact same shit. Your mental health is not going to be good as long as your physical health is getting worse from what you're doing to quote unquote make money.
So I'm just trying to figure that out. I've never had like a personal vacation situation. I've vlogged before. So I'm just, again, figuring out as I go along.
Another lie from the purple lips of Rosie. She vlogged meeting London Boy and that whole trip. I remember that. She has done personal travel vlogs before.
It's like the majority of like the negative feedback I've been getting is that the vlogs are boring, the weird, like biphobic, homophobic shit I'm getting about my boyfriend, which is crazy because I'm also queer and I don't really get hate for that. Yeah, we did get followed in real life. That did happen, yeah.
You guys being out in a public drive-through and someone taking 2 pictures of you in the same place does not mean you were followed. I'm so tired of her victim mentality, dude. It's crazy.
You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna say it because it's true. With everything that happened during the first week I was in Texas, it really kind of derailed some of our plans. So we ran out of like extra time to go out and do things because I was just like managing fucking crisis after crisis, and it was just annoying.
Number 1, there wasn't crisis after crisis. Number 2, you're a homebody, you don't like going out, you can't walk anyway. So that's not surprising, but also this is more excuses for why her quote unquote travel vlogs suck so much. It's always excuses with this woman. Now we're about to hear how her mom punished her when she was a child. And from all the times she said how horrible her childhood was and how traumatizing it was and how bad her parents were to her, this doesn't seem like awful parenting to me. This doesn't seem like she had a very traumatizing childhood with her parents.
Got so mad at me that you boxed up my bookcase because you didn't, because I just didn't, I was at the point where I didn't care anymore.
So brutal.
And
See,
it worked though.
I know, but like books to me are closest to God. Like library,
You were mad about doing it.
Reading a book is like breathing that everyone should be able to do. So you really must have taken.
You know what? Actually, what it was what I remember, because I remember thinking it was such an insane reaction at the time, because I think what it was it was like an accumulation of things. Like it was just you were getting to a point where you were like, you were just mad.
Oh.
I think it had to do with the thing of like
We were so
I
frustrated.
probably got caught out in a lie, right?
Yeah.
And so, because it was also from my perspective, I felt so much frustration because there was a lot of times where you thought I was lying and I wasn't. That happened a lot, to be honest.
But you were very good at it.
And there it is. We have confirmation from Mama Jean that Rosie is so good at lying. She lies with such ease that even her own mom didn't know when she was lying and when she wasn't. I feel kind of redeemed hearing that.
That's the problem. Like, I couldn't tell the difference, and so I never knew what to believe. And so, yeah, that was a tough time, and I'm glad that we've survived it, and we've come around to where we are now. So that gives hope to any parents out there that are struggling with teenager rebellion. And
I mean, because like I know why I did the things that I did that I didn't understand at the time, and I
I'm glad you do.
therapy's awesome, but
That's all that was interesting from the April 14th stream. Now we're moving on to the April 15th stream where she talks a lot about having autism without being diagnosed. And she's also deboning the rotisserie chicken that she was supposed to do the night before. Let's get into it.
Today was just like a pretty significant pain day, and my mental health was being annoying. So eventually the Ativan kicked in. Eventually I ate breakfast. Eventually I found my brain, and things are better than they were. We got a 10-pound log of meat, folks.
Ground chuck.
Why'd she have to throw that down so aggressively? And also, it seems like Rosie thinks that eating makes her feel better, and that is a problem.
You put that in for me? Yes, I will. Appreciate you.
In the next clip, Rosie is telling a story about something that happened when they went to the produce shop, but it took a good 10 minutes for her to tell this story, so I had to clip all around it. I got it down to about 2 minutes.
So, I walk into the produce shop. I'm walking around. I'm vlogging. I'm picking out my things. I'm chatting with my mom. And I'm kind of being oblivious to the people that are there. So anyway, I don't really know. I think you might have noticed him and some of the stuff, conversation going on before I was even aware what was happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because it wasn't until I walked up to the counter and I started putting the vegetation on that I was even aware that this man was standing to the side of the register. And this is like a small mom and pop produce shop. It's not a big store. And this man, he was just like a stereotypical, like a southern white guy, goatee. He, like, if you subtract his aura from the situation, he wasn't the ugliest man, but he wasn't good looking either. And then I see them talking, and at first I thought that it was like kind of just them like friendly talking, but then I realized this man is relentlessly hitting on this cashier. And at first I was like, oh, okay. And it all kind of happened fast, and I don't remember exactly what was said and what happened in a like specific order, because by the time he said one specific thing, I blacked out a little bit. But basically, I kind of gathered that she was being hit on. I became aware that she's been married. I didn't even know that about her, and I've seen this woman off and on for years. And this guy was sitting there talking about her, and then he referred to her as a target. He used the word target, and the second I heard that, I went, like, my like danger signals went off, and I was like, oh, like, what situation am I in right now? And he was talking about how, like, basically if she was getting divorced, he would like take her right up, and like have her, or like have his way with her. Like, it was, the language he was using was crazy. You know, being married 6 years, like, do you have any advice for me? Because I was just trying to make conversation, and I wanted her to talk about her husband, and that's kind of what I was going for. And this man cuts her off, and he looks at both of us, and he goes, oh, I've got some advice for you. Learn how to give good blowjobs. I was like, I blacked out a little bit, okay? So my exact wording, I'm a little off on. I looked at him and I said, that is extremely inappropriate. I don't appreciate you sexualizing me. or in being sexual in that way. You're being creepy. I know at one point I said she's stuck behind that counter and she has to deal with you, but I don't. And he didn't say anything to me. He's kind of tall. It looked like he shrunk about half an inch by the time I was done.
I don't know about you guys, but I experience weird people in stores all the time. When you go out, when you go downtown and stuff, like you're going to run into people who are saying some off the wall shit. But I don't think Rosie gets out much. And she thought this guy was sexualizing her when he was just a piece of shit who's like, oh yeah, learn to give good blowjobs, you know? Like, there's assholes like that everywhere. And she thought she did something real big by saying something, I guess. Oh, he shrunk, but by the time he left, that girl, I don't think so. You're not real intimidating. But she acted like this was some big deal and she was this woman's hero or something. It's crazy.
No, I don't plan on being like a cooking channel. You know, I mean, I do food content. Duh. Hi, look, I am literally deconstructing chicken right now. But I'm trying to figure out what I want.
All Rosie does on her lives is eat and make her weird food concoctions. That's all she does on her lives and talks to people. She doesn't have any other ideas for content. That's why she does this. Plus, again, she gets paid to indulge in her addiction.
I want a little bit of this chicken skin. Listen, is the chicken skin like the fattiest part of the bird? Yes. Is it, however, also a natural way to get collagen to improve your skin? Yes. Oh. Yes, thank you. You put it right there? Yeah. Shout out to, I think her name was Jessica.
You're gonna have to show me how to use it.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward,
But
actually.
it looks like it'd be a pain in the butt to clean.
It is, but it saves my hands a lot of pain.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't like to ask you to do every little thing, you know.
You do ask her to do a hell of a lot, though. In fact, coming up, you do the chicken breasts while using the shredder that you says saves your hand pain. While your mom has actual wrist problems, has for years, and she has to, by hand, shred the dark meat.
What changed with your abilities? Well, not only is my chronic pain significantly increased and become far more chronic and consistent with its frequencies in the past 2 years, but my hand, finger, wrist, arm pain has significantly worsened over time as well. What you could help me with right now is if you'd like to go ahead and chop this up and then just put it in a zip for us and label it dark meat and throw it in the fridge.
You're gonna need a clear white cutting board.
Yes, that would help greatly if we could do that. And I will take care of shredding the chicken breast.
What are you talking about, ranch?
You use ranch as the sauce on the pizza with. And you put,
No, you don't. I use Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Now you can make one with your ranch, and I'll make one with my barbecue sauce. Now I am really proud of Rosie. She has saved some of her the ends of the veggies.
so carrot skins, onion skins.
Yeah, so
I think that's
has carrot in it. And I'm putting. Oh, hang on. You want to peel? You want to take off the label?
Noted. Sorry.
That's okay.
Maybe I should eat. Maybe I'll feel better after I eat.
Do you want me to warm up your kielbasa stir fry?
Sure. I was acting like a catty bitch. Like, there was a lot of points in my life in the past 2 years where I was miserable and I was taking it out on other people and I was shit talking other people. I was putting my nose where it didn't belong. I was doing a lot of shit like that, right? So, you know, that could have been, I could have been handling it that better. Instead of handling my own emotions, I was suppressing them and I was not coping well with where I was at in life. Like there's a lot of factors I feel at play that explain it, and not to justify it, right?
Okay, but in those 2 years, you kept telling us how well you were doing, how far you had come, how much better your mental health was, just like you are now. Were you lying then, or are you lying now, or both? Which is it?
In hindsight, um, the pressure of the kind of content I was making got to me. And I also was just externally very triggered at that amount of weight loss that I don't need to get into on the internet. One, because of TOS, and two, because I need to get into it with my therapist. Um, so I've just kind of come to the realization that my actions, my words, my truth, the truth, doesn't matter to the people that are dedicated to misunderstanding me. To go back to the bras topic for 2 seconds, it's misogynistic as fuck, because at this point they're like policing the necklines that I'm wearing with what tops. It's very creepy because, like, if you're not into me in that way, why are you spending so much time talking about my cleavage? It's very bizarre. Um, and I think you should be judged for that behavior. I think that's disturbing.
When you come on the internet 99% of the time with 99% of your tits hanging out of the top of your shirt, yeah, people are going to talk about that. And you're not just at home without a bra on, you are live streaming to thousands and thousands of people. That's like being up in front of thousands of people without a bra on and your butt cleavage hanging out for all the world to see. But those who are commenting on it should be judged, and you shouldn't. The one who is putting that on the internet should not be judged, but those commenting on it should. That's so ass backwards.
I've seen people say that you are not autistic because you're not diagnosed, and that is not true. Anyone could be autistic without being diagnosed. I'm one of them. I have never at any time claimed to be diagnosed autistic. You will not find a clip of that. It does not exist. I have never at any time claimed to be diagnosed autistic, and I always make that distinction. Or they talk about things that happened, that the content no longer exists because I was demonetized and I had to clean up my channel. In his office, I saw a psychologist. That psychologist told me they did not specialize in diagnosing adults with autism. And that is a very important factor because I have to deal with the disgusting, awful US healthcare system and the biases against adult autistic women. I pushed to get an autism diagnosis, and she seemed hesitant. They seemed hesitant about it, but I pushed for it anyway. I wanted it to be included. I wanted to try. And I knew that there was a possibility for what ended up happening to me would happen. Night, Dad. I knew there was a possibility of what ended up happening to me would happen, and I did it anyway. I also wanted to get tested because I believe I'm dyslexic, and I have the symptoms, and I have problems with that, including through my speech. And there may be a better word for that, but again, the second day of testing, while I was insured, $800. $800. It cost $800 out of pocket. I didn't have $800. Not even in my name at the time. And so I didn't get tested. I didn't have the opportunity to be tested because I live in America and our healthcare system is a joke at best.
I don't remember hearing about this dyslexia thing, but I remember her coming out. She was being assessed for autism. I remember this. And I believe I have the video somewhere. I will look for it this weekend. And if I can find it, we will go over it next week. But she says she was going through the assessment. She went through the entire assessment. And the lady told her, "You are not autistic. You are not on the spectrum. Come back in 6 months and we'll see if we can reassess you." Now, to me, that strikes me as bullshit because you're not going to be much different in 6 months than you are today, especially in your 30s. It's not like you have some huge growth in your 30s. You know what I mean? So this makes no sense. And then she goes on to talk more about the 6 month thing. It just makes no fucking sense to me. And she keeps adding shit to this, like, oh, the American healthcare system is biased against adult women with autism. Or I had to pay $800 out of pocket. A lot of us have to pay out of pocket costs with health insurance in America. And like, you are not special. And that doesn't mean that you have autism because you were assessed. And she says, you do not meet the criteria. They're not going to have you come back in 6 months because it's going to be so different. It doesn't make any sense.
What she said to me wasn't that I wasn't autistic. She said, you may be autistic, but essentially not enough for me to diagnose you at this time. You can come back in 6 months and we can try again.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't. You are stressing me the hell out. I can't do it. I'm done.
Because at the end of the day, like, if they admit that I'm autistic, then that means that they have to admit that they're bullying an autistic adult.
She's talking about reaction channels here, and I'd like to know, what reaction channels are bullying you? Since when is criticism bullying? You are a grown woman putting your life on the internet, mostly your addictive eating. You're talking about having autism when you were told you are not autistic. I don't care if you say she didn't say that. You don't meet the criteria to be diagnosed. Therefore, you are not autistic. You were assessed. It's not like you haven't been assessed. You were. You didn't meet the criteria. No one's bullying you, Rosie. Stop the victim shit.
And that's the thing, is all of that's been distorted. I mean, they were making fun of me when I talked about being medically kidnapped. Like, when I was held against my will, when I tried to get help, and then in exchange, I was handed more trauma. I am really proud of myself for standing up to that dude. Who are you talking about, Demery? What's disgusting? I'm literally diagnosed with severe PTSD per my psychiatrist, excuse me. Someone else's mental illness doesn't invalidate yours and vice versa. I'm very confused. Are you mad at me or someone else, Demery? What? I'm very confused on what just happened. I hope she's okay. Because I got nothing but love for her. So I don't know what just happened. But I'm gonna go because I was gonna hop off anyway. So
I don't know what Demery was saying in the chat because I don't download the chat. I just download the live stream when I do it. But it sounds like she was trying to say that reaction channel's mental illness does not invalidate Rosie's and vice versa, maybe, because Rosie kept saying, these people are mentally ill and they're just taking out their anger about their lives on me. Like, girl, I don't know if you know, but some of us live really damn happy lives. We live in gratitude. At least I can speak for me. After I got my surgery in March, I have a whole new lust for life, and I am extremely happy, and I'm grateful. So, mental illness where? Anger where? Bullying where? I'd love to know. But we will be talking more about this autism thing because her brother is diagnosed autistic, and I think that has a lot to do with her seeking out an autism diagnosis because he gets a lot of attention from his parents and has a lot of resources because of his autism. And I think that Rosie likes being the center of attention and wants those ass pats and resources handed to her. We'll also be talking about her manipulation of language and her self-victimization because the medically kidnapped thing was a 5150 hold, which happens all over the US. In Florida, it's called the Baker Act, but they're held for 72 hours for their own safety and the safety of others. That is a law that they have to go by. She wasn't medically kidnapped. She talks about how she was groomed into feederism at the very young age of 28, when that was a conscious choice she made herself. So her self-victimizing language and her seeking autism diagnosis, we'll be going into all that next week. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time.